I really enjoyed the Lightyear movie, and while I did enjoy the basic Mattel figures for the movie, I always felt like I needed a little bit more. So I was just looking on Amazon about a month or so ago, and I saw it totally flew under my radar. There was a Pixar Spotlight series, Buzz Lightyear from the movie, and this is it. Even though it doesn't look like it, it looks like that 6-inch like Alpha series, whatever that came out a bit ago. But believe me, this is definitely a step up. So the Pixar Spotlight series is kind of Mattel's higher end, 6, 7-inch action figure line for various, Pixar properties. I reviewed the Buzz and Woody, the standard Toy Story ones from the Pixar Spotlight series, if you want to check those out. I did show off the boxes in those, and this, unfortunately, the box is already kind of stored away, because I got it a bit ago. It was cool. It was a cool box. Had, a little base backdrop in the back, with, the launch pad for the XL15. It was neat. But we're talking about the figure. That's what we're talking about. And it's a really nice figure. It really is. Unfortunately, it retails for like $40-something, which is stupid. But Amazon, when I looked, had it on sale for about $26. And I think it's definitely worth $26. So, yeah, this is a nice 6-inch style figure of Buzz from the movie. And you get a lot. I have him stripped down right now because I'm going to gear him up as the video progresses. But you can see we're looking pretty good so far. Looking a little wobbly in the head, though, but we'll talk about that. So, the star of the show, obviously, Socks. Best character in the movie, for sure. Best character. Finally, we have a Socks that is fully painted. Has the necklace, has the little tag, has the belly, has the actual socks. Has the mouth painted, which is good. Not all versions have the mouth painted. A little tip of the tail. Has some articulation, too. You can move the tail. You can move the middle of the body. You can move the head. The head's actually on a ball joint. You can move the front legs. You can move the back legs. Even though the back legs are always in a permanent, kind of sitting position, you can still kind of get them walking a little bit. But I do kind of wish, for this being a higher-end item, kind of in the vein of, Super 7 Ultimates. That's kind of what Pixar Spotlight's trying to go with. Would have been nice if you got to swap out, butt with, a different tail expression and actual, standing legs. But honestly, I think most of us are going to want him in this pose anyway, so I think it works. Very nice little socks accessory. He's kind of his own little figure, but I want to show him first. So, Buzz, obviously looking pretty great. He comes with a lot of stuff, though. So, little socks back there. He has hands. He has alternate hands. I don't really think many of them serve much of a purpose, but, you get hands. You do have a right trigger finger hand for no gun. You don't get a blaster with him, which is odd given how this is Pixar Spotlight series and he has a spot for a blaster and you don't get it. Good old Mattel. But still, if you have a blaster, you do have left and right gripping hands for pretty much nothing because he doesn't really have anything to grip, so you get those. I guess they can kind of be fists. They kind of serve as, more of a fist. And then, my bad. One of them is a slightly different grip. Cool. Again, I feel like it's for accessories you don't even get. You do have some nice accessories, though. Starting off with alternate heads. The head he has on is the head he has packaged, which is the, hair showing, smiling Buzz, which is nice, but I personally like my Buzz not having his hair showing. So, thankfully, we get two options, and another one has his hair showing. Hooray! And this face is really weird, too. Let's pop the head off. So you can see it's on like a ball joint, but the dumbbell that it plugs into is kind of loose. So it's a bit, you can see in there, it wobbles a little bit. So that's where the head's getting the wobble. So you get this head, this is the last time it'll probably ever be on this body, because it looks so stupid. He's like pouting. Look at him, he's pouting. It looks so odd, too. The eyes are so much bigger, and they're kind of offset. And I feel like these heads could have benefited from some paint to detail the face, because it kind of gets lost in the plastic color. I feel like I'm complaining so much, but I really like this thing. I really do. And last, and definitely not least, you get the skull cap head, which is 1,100,000,000% the head I will always use for Buzz, because, that's Buzz Lightyear. He has the skull cap. And thankfully, even though we only get one skull cap head, the expression's very good. I do kind of wish he had a smiling face, like if he had a smile for the skull cap. But he looks very determined. He looks very serious. I like it. And I feel like the paint's even better on this. It's definitely the best head, without a doubt. So other accessories, let's go ahead and gear him up. But before we do that, there's his head articulation, just to show you. He can do some nice wibbles. We won't be seeing that too much later on. And again, I'll talk about it. So, you do get his laser, which is really cool. You can slip it over the hand and put it on his arm. And I currently have him with this open hand for this, which is good for like salutes or something. And a right pointing hand, because, he needs to go to infinity and beyond, I suppose. Yeah, the laser's looking cool. It's got some nice paint on it. It looks neat. It looks cool. And then he's got to have his XL15 escape pack. However, before we put this on, let's check out all the detail on the back. So he has O2 because, he's kind of second in command. He's not the number one. But look at all that printed detail. This is where the figure shines. All of the detail on the suit. The caution stripes, the little warning logos, all the little colors and details. A lot of this was not on the standard like 6-inch figure for this guy. So what they really added was all this little detail, and it's all over the suit, and it looks really nice. But you plug this on, and he's got his jetpack now. I kind of wish would get a figure of him in like the final suit in the movie where it's really accurate to Toy Story, but I kind of like in the movie it kind of progresses and he sort of gets his classic look. Now we'll activate it after he gets his helmet on. He can't survive space without his helmet, and it's a 2-piece helmet. So let's see. This is the back piece. We want this first. So the back piece will just kind of slot on, and this is where we start having issues where we're gonna struggle to reach the head articulation. But then you just slot in the hinged portion, if the back will actually stay in, please, thank you. Slot in the hinged portion, and then, did I get that on right? Oop, guess not. Okay, did not get that on right. Let's slot on the hinged portion. Are we good? Okay, now we're good. And there we go. I feel like his head wasn't this jostly before. Maybe I'll try to glue that stem down. Maybe that'll help. But yeah, he's pretty much all armed up, all geared up. Flip that helmet down, and nice. It actually wasn't fully deploying properly before, but I kind of worked it, and now that's what it mostly liked doing. Like, it has a lazy wing. But most of the time now, it functions properly. Still a little dicey on this one, still a little droopy, but a lot of nice paint. He's got green on that side, red on that side, really kind of faithful to Buzz Lightyear. So, now that he's all geared up, as Buzz should be, let's take a look at the figure itself, because this is where it shines, man. For $26, not $40, don't get this for $40, please. For $26, this is very, very nice. So you saw the head articulation, you get a lot of range out of it. It's hard to access with the helmet on, though. You see, you kind of got to pinch it, and then kind of shift it. It's a little difficult. I definitely would try to get the head in a nice pose before you put the dome on. But you can still manage it. It's just a little challenging. The shoulders, they move up pretty good. They don't really seem to have a butterfly, but it works fine. Nice double elbow, enough to get him in a salute. I don't really think it's enough to like get him pressing too many buttons on his chest, though. Let's see. You can press those buttons. That's nice. You can press those buttons. Yeah, you can press that button too. Nice. Even though that in the movie was more of like a latch you pull out, and it was like that emergency thing. But I guess they kind of repurposed it in the final suit for Toy Story to be the wing deployment. What else? Yeah, arm articulation's nice. He has a really nice ball joint at the waist. He does have a swivel at the waist too. The ball joint there is a little loose. It gets a little heavy with the backpack on, but it still holds decently well. Legs move up. They move out to the side, not too much, but I really love the upward motion. The knees bend really nice. And keep an eye out for all these little details, all these little markings all throughout him, especially the 12420B on his ass. Keep an eye out for that. I love the little gray markings too. They did fully paint his feet, which is nice. However, the foot articulation's kind of lacking, because I guess it's just the design of the suit. You can't get too much range out of that. But I think the figure itself's really nice, and I saved one of the best accessories for last, the display base. So it goes around his waist beautifully. Let's deploy his wings there. Like, it just clips so well. Like, it's really form-fitted. And then, unfortunately, it droops. You know, it droops. It does that. It droops. But you can fight the droop. You fight the droop by just clicking it in certain positions. Unfortunately, this is nice and clicky down there. This is nice and clicky in the middle, but it's not clicky up top. So, hooray for that. So, this thing is not perfect. You've probably picked up on that. It is not perfect. What I like doing, I kind of like having him kick off of the base to kind of keep him in place. Move that leg out. Let's zoom out a little bit. Let's actually make you see what I'm doing. And then we'll have him shooting the laser. I love that laser shooting. If the laser will stay on. Again, another nice little thing. Kind of got to get up there firm, and then it'll stay. And then that, we'll just have his arm out. Move his head and get his helmet flipped down. Look at that! That's really cool. This is a nice figure. It really is. Is it perfect? No, it's not. It has issues. It has issues. But hey, you know, the base is nice. It's kind of the Pixar ball. If you can kind of see it, it's kind of embossed in there. Yeah, you can see it a little bit. It's kind of coming through. Yeah, it's a decent base. A little droopy, but it works. You do have foot pegs on the bottom, too, if you want to actually have him just standing on it. But for Buzz, you know, especially this figure with the articulation and the jetpack and everything, it looks great up in the air like this. So, does this satisfy me as like a collectible figure of Buzz Lightyear from the Lightyear movie? In a way, yeah. You know, it definitely satisfies me to an extent. But there's so much more it could have come with. Take the Alpha class. I think that's the name of the line. Forgive me if I'm wrong. It's a repaint of that. It is a straight up repaint of the standard 6-inch figure. So you would kind of think, you know, it could be a little more deluxe, and in some ways it is. You know, that original one didn't have the, you know, skull cap head. It didn't have full paint on socks. It didn't have full paint on the armor. It didn't have a lot of the accessories that we have here. But that one had a lot of accessories we don't have here. So I'm kind of confused. Why doesn't this one come with all of the accessories? You know, it's twice as much. It's like 40-something bucks retail. It's Mattel. How about that? Hasbro has their issues, but Mattel also has their unique set of issues. And for being a Mattel figure, it still manages to shine through many of those issues and be a pretty good toy. I really enjoy it. Never pay $40 for this. Never. The price on this figure has to start with a 2, in my opinion. There's that SH Figuarts Buzz floating around that's like $80. I really like that one. I don't know if I'll ever get it because it's $80, but it looks gorgeous. Even though I've been tempted by that one many times, I'm pretty satisfied with this. This is a pretty nice Buzz Lightyear for my collection, and I really enjoy it. Do I recommend it? Yeah, I recommend it to those who are, you know, fans of unique, cool action figures as well as Buzz Lightyear and Toy Story and all that. You know, I don't go too much into, like, 6-inch collectible action figures, you know. I watch a movie or something and I'm not inclined to, like, rush out and get the NECA figure or the Marvel Legend. I'm not that kind of collector. But with Lightyear, I wanted something nicer than those basic figures. You know, I have a few of those. They're nice, you know, but they're basic. They're the basic, you know, 5-inch figures. Having the 6-inch one that's fully posable, comes with a nicely painted socks, has what you need for an iconic Buzz Lightyear. I really enjoy it. Could it be better? Absolutely. I feel like some of the joints could be a little better. The hand choices could have been better. My main complaint is that it should have come with more. Because I would have loved the Ranger Blaster and that little knife thing that they had, the combat knife. It would have been cool. It would have been really nice to get that extra stuff. I would have preferred if this head, the pouty head, just did not exist and we had another balaclava head. That would have been nice. But, you know, we get what we get. And I think what we get for not retail price, for $20-something, is really good. However, seeing this and knowing that this whole package retail costs $40 or so. I'm kind of scared for the direction of the toy industry if this is what is acceptable for $40. Mattel, man, I don't think Mattel has ever made an exceptional action figure. I don't think they've reached to that point yet. They're getting there. They're getting there. Like some of the WWE Ultimate stuff is pretty good. They're getting there. But I don't think Mattel has ever made something where you're just like, this is really, really good. Like, this is perfect. Mattel has not reached to that point. They still have their Mattel quirks. Maybe someday. I feel like Mattel is the doll company that also makes action figures, while Hasbro's the action figure company that also makes dolls, if you know what I mean. I mean, Mattel has Barbie. That's Mattel's main thing. You know, action figures, I feel like, they're kind of second with Mattel. You know, as long as it's durable and it can be smashed like a WWE wrestler, it's fine with Mattel. But Hasbro, they really focus on articulation and engineering and everything. I think this line would have been a lot better in Hasbro's hands, but I think Mattel has shown that they can make a pretty competent figure here. It's just unfortunate that, you know, it had to be so expensive at retail cost. So there we go. I think I've rambled on long enough. There is my look at the Mattel Pixar Spotlight Series Buzz Lightyear. I really like it. I recommend it if it seems like something up your alley, but if it's not, you know, if you'd rather spend the extra, you know, $50 or so on an SH figure art, be my guest. Be my guest. I'm tempted to do that at some point. I truly am, because that figure art looks amazing, and so many people put it as one of their top figures of 2022. I might get it someday. I don't know. We'll see. Alrighty, guys. There we go. Thank you so much for bearing with me and watching as I discuss this silly Buzz Lightyear. A special shout out to the channel members as well. Thank you all so much for the continued support. Alrighty, there we go. Have a good one. And, you know, to infinity. I'll just leave it at that. I won't fulfill it. You're welcome.